The U.S. housing sector just doesn't offer the shelter it used to. A slew of recent data, from home ownership levels to home prices, reveals a change in the sector's role in the economy. Josh Rosner is a managing director at the research consulting group Graham Fisher & Company.
I think we have to recognize housing is going to lag rather than lead a recovery, largely because we need the jobs to be able to get the younger population, first-time homebuyers, into the purchase market.
Census Bureau data released Tuesday shows the rate of U.S. homeownership falling to the lowest level in almost 19 years. The current rate is 64.8%, comparing to a high just shy of 70% a decade ago. Some of that is because people are starting families later in life, says Stan Humphreys, chief economist at real estate database Zillow. He expects household formation will normalize.
And as it does, that'll create some more demand for housing. Now, I think that a lot of that demand that's going to be created by new households, though, is going to be on the renting side of the ledger, not on the owning side.
That trend towards renting represents a fundamental shift in the post-recession economy, according to many experts. Census data shows housing starts haven't returned anywhere close to where they stood before the crisis.
We're not going to perhaps ever get back to those levels of housing construction.
Economists say there are some reasons for optimism. Tuesday, the latest S&P Case-Shiller index of home price values showed a continuing upward march, although the year-over-year change shows growth is slowing down. Economists say the recovery in home prices and mortgage rates have left some priced out. David Blitzer is chairman of the index committee.
Prices are clearly good. They're still going up. But if one says, what's the housing sector doing for the U.S. economy, the answer is not as much as we'd like to see it do.
That may be in part because private equity investors buying units in depressed markets helped fuel what seemed to be a housing recovery over the last 3 years. James Lockhart is vice chair at W.L. Ross.
From our standpoint, however, we have invested around the housing market quite a bit. Community banks, as I mentioned, single-family originators, single-family servicers, and they've turned out to be good investments as the market has recovered.
But the private equity bonanza appears to be on the wane, and with it, hopes for a real housing recovery.